In this video, I'm going to discuss with you a particular file that our textbook author has provided to us called CreateDatasets. This file has over 1,000 lines of code, and we are not going to need all of it. My purpose in showing this to you is to explain how to use certain parts of it to do exercises in your textbook. For example, in Chapter 10, problem number 4 references a SAS dataset called bicycles. And if you were to look in the list of files, you're not going to see something called bicycles. That's because the author wants us to create it using a chunk of code that he's provided here in the CreateDatasets file. Now, how do we find it quickly? We do not want to scroll through 1,000 lines of code. Well, there are a couple ways to do this. If we do not already know a line number, but we know a keyword like bicycles, we can use this little binoculars icon here and type in the keyword and ask SAS to find these. And it will automatically move our cursor to the line of code where we first see that keyword that we typed in. So we see down here in line 171, we have the beginning of the code used to create the bicycles dataset. And I recommend copying, not cutting, but copying the piece of code that you need and dropping it into a new program window. And F4 is your keyboard shortcut to bring up a new code window. And I'll paste my code there, and then I can work with this. There is one other thing I'll need to do, and that is to work with the library that was here. Now, if I just want the bicycles data set to be temporary, I could get rid of this learn dot portion of the code right away. If I want it to be permanent, I have to run a live name statement first. Now I could use learn as my library name, or I could use what we normally do in this course, which is bas150, and then change it here as well in line 4. It's up to you. But of course, we will need to point to our shared folder location. And then when I run this code, I'll set up the library and I'll see the bicycles dataset in it, and then I can do whatever the exercise is asking me to do. Now, when I ask you to do exercises where you need to use the CreateDatasets file, I'll provide a line number. So let me show that to you. I'm going to go back to my CreateDatasets file. And I happen to know that there is a portion that creates a blood data set beginning at line 799. So I'll go to this box right here where I can specify a line number and type in 799, hit enter, and down here at the bottom of my code window is line 799, and I find the code that I need to create the blood data set. That concludes this video on the CreateDatasets file provided by the textbook author.